Well, folks, once again, you're listening to the Cowboy and Cherry Short Show. My name's Jason Kurtman. That girl over there in that beautiful flower dress, the print, you know what kind of flowers those are? We talked about that on the last show.
Flat fabric?
Flat fabric flowers, yes. Otherwise known as the Anthemium printed flowers.
All right.
I don't know where I'm coming from on
I
that,
have no
anyway.
idea. Where did you come from?
I don't know. I really I don't know where I came from. I'm going to check something out here, Sarah. We're going to go to the Facebook page.
Are you?
Yeah, because, we're on there right now for
Okay.
the podcast. But here's the problem. We can't always see the chat in real time when there's a chat. So I'm going hey, there we are.
Oh, there we go.
There we are right there.
Yep.
I'm going to go back over here. And now we'll be able to see if anybody's, heaven forbid, anybody's watching, or anything. So
Curse the thought.
yeah. Hey, that is the London Bridge behind us. We'll be talking about that in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So, good stuff there. Absolutely good stuff.
Very good stuff. We had a great
trip. Yeah, we did.
Lake Havasu, Laughlin, Nevada, although we didn't really stop anywhere. We just kind of went through it across the river from Arizona.
Oh, you mean we didn't stop anywhere on the way there, right?
No, we didn't stop anywhere in Nevada.
Oh, in Nevada. No, we didn't. We drove right through a corner of it.
Yeah.
Through a corner of it. It was a little city. Was that Laughlin, the city there?
Yeah, that was Laughlin.
It was a pretty good attempt to be Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Pretty good attempt on a smaller scale. But
yeah. And hey, I've heard geologists say without the fact that the Colorado River that is split in two between Arizona and Nevada, Nevada would pretty much be a desert.
Yeah.
They have the water rights to half of that river.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought you meant we didn't stop anywhere on the way from New Mexico to our hotel room. But we did. We stopped at the one place we always stop at, the gas stations, but one in particular.
Yes.
The Thing, outside of Dragoon, New Mexico.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have any pictures up of The Thing.
No, that's okay.
I should go through and get pictures of The Thing. And it's a big truck stop, fuel stop. They used to have a good museum. We've talked about that before. But always enjoy that little trip. That's a good place to stop. You never know what you're going to see there. Lots of people stop in there that have their dogs. Truckers. Mm-hmm. We notice truckers are taking their children with them now.
Which is an okay thing. I mean, it was like spring break.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. Ride with your dad in the big rig.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And listen to the CB radio and the GPS.
Get to see a part of America.
Chat with your dad or your mom. How cool would that be? I can't imagine my mom driving a truck.
No, not your mom. Not my mom either.
I could see my dad doing it.
I can, hey.
But, hey.
There are some women that can do that, and that's great for them.
So we went over there. We had a hotel the first night, and then the second and third night, we stayed in a resort that was gifted to us.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we have been craving Chinese food for a long time.
Oh, boy, have we.
I was going to put my hat on. I didn't put my hat on.
That's okay. You look fine without it.
I need my hat. I might have to switch here in a minute. So... but anyway, we've been craving Chinese food, and we stopped at this place. Yes. You know, when you're in a town and you're looking for good Chinese food, you can forget about the buffets. I don't think they exist anymore.
I don't think they do either.
No, I think our pandemic has
the cancel culture
has canceled out the Chinese buffets. But we stopped at this place after a long search for where should we go.
Yes,
and it was called the Good China.
Yeah, it was called Good China.
Yes. And I remember that as my mom talked about that when I was a kid. She said, we're not going to eat on the Good China tonight. So, yeah. So, no, not really.
We never ate on our Good China, hardly. No.
But we ordered this. It was called, what was it called? The Popo Platter?
Yeah.
And I don't like the sound of the name of it, but it was basically a combination appetizer.
Oh, there it is. I'm getting hungry already.
There it is, yes. And I got to tell you, I'm going to try to enlarge this just a little bit. Forgive me, Sarah.
Oh, I feel so left out.
Well, here, I'll do this for you. I'll move it over here. That'll make you feel better. But this was a really good platter.
It was a phenomenal platter, let me tell you, people.
Barbecue ribs, some sort of lightly barbecued beef sticks on top of that. What do you kind of call that grill there? What is that grill?
The grill?
Hibachi grill? Is that what that is or something? I don't know.
Maybe it is, but
I call it a wannabe grill. It's just so small it wants to be bigger.
It's like a mini can of sterno.
Yeah, but it was a good meal. I'm gonna move that
it
back.
Was. Let me tell you, the wontons and the spring rolls and
then I don't even remember the main dish I had. That was so good there. I forgot about the main dish.
You had cashew chicken like you always
That's
have.
right, cashew chicken. Yep.
But
Good stuff.
Oh my goodness, ribs. Oof.
Yep. And
awesome.
then we got some things moved around in our storage unit and other places, and we decided to drive out to Needles, California.
Yes.
Interesting. Our last song was
with Jason's aunt,
yes,
and she was such a great hostess.
Now, I got to tell you, I had a really strange experience driving into California.
Well, I had it with you.
Yeah, well, we had a very strange experience. Yes.
Thank you.
I was flabbergasted. I was appalled.
No, you weren't.
I was almost appalled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul.
Okay, do you know the difference between the Apostle Paul and Norman Vincent Peale?
No.
Peale is appalling and Paul is appealing. Anyway, we drove from
New Mexico to Arizona for a couple of days.
Well, what I'm getting at, on this trip, we drove from about Peoria, Arizona, over to Needles, California.
Right.
Sarah and I were so excited, and I don't know why. We know enough about California to know that living there would not be too exciting for us.
It'd just be very expensive.
It'd be very expensive, a very liberal area, of course.
Yes.
But we drove in there, and we pulled up, and there's a checkpoint. And that's not a big deal for us. We see checkpoints here all the time. You go to El Paso, you go to Las Cruces.
Right.
You go anywhere, there's a checkpoint around here.
There's one near Ajo, Arizona.
Yeah. And I know that there's a federal law that says there could be a Border Patrol checkpoint within 100 miles of the border, but we're in Needles, California. Off the top of my head, I don't think it's anywhere close to 100 miles from the border.
I have no clue.
I'd have to check. But we come to a checkpoint, and I'm still thinking Border Patrol, law enforcement. Okay, we're going into California. They say it's like a different country. It is. Because most states, except the Southwest states, don't have a Border Patrol station. They might have them up north. I don't know. But like if you're going from Ohio to Indiana.
I think they have one in Buffalo, New York, maybe.
Maybe. You're not, but like from Ohio into Indiana or Illinois, Indiana, into Indiana, that's a tongue twister.
I know.
You're not going to pass through a police checkpoint, a permanent police checkpoint, with the awning and the building and everything. So we drive up through Needles, California. There's a checkpoint there, and there's a lady there, full law enforcement uniform, firearm and everything. I pull up, and I'm expecting to hear, is everybody in the car a United States citizen? Maybe, do you have any guns, knives, hand grenades, explosives, anything, just because that's a law enforcement tactic, just to see how you react to a little sense of humor. What I hear is, and this is the only question they give me, do you have any fruits or plants inside the vehicle? I looked at her. Do you remember what I said? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm serious.
We might have Teddy Grahams. I don't know.
If I'd have thought about it, I would have said just the apples. And if she wanted to see the apples, we would have held up our phones. And then if she said, don't be a smart aleck, or don't be stupid, I would have said, you started it. But we might have been delayed.
Yes, slightly.
But I could not believe it. Do you have any... I asked my Uncle John about that. He says, well, they've had problems in the past, and they're so very strict on making sure that bugs and diseased fruits don't get into the state. I could say something there, but I won't. About diseased fruits, but I won't.
And yet they'll let the buildings that are 20 years old crumble.
Yeah, this is something else we didn't know in the state. This was explained to us, that if you own a piece of property with a building that's more than 20 years old, you are not allowed to tear it down.
That is just so silly.
It's kind of like automatically deemed a historical building. Automatically, just by virtue of the fact that it's over 20 years old. So there are properties that are really good properties.
Yeah.
Just the buildings on them are not good properties, but the land itself is good property. But you can't take one, tear down the building, and redevelop it.
Which is just silly. It really is.
It's absurd. I don't understand that. There's got to be a way around that with special permits and special fees, some way to generate revenue.
No, I have a feeling it's bureaucrats, honestly.
Now, that being said, I will say this. The natural beauty, what God has done to California, is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
So then we stayed a little while, and we did go around Laughlin and around the area, and then my aunt decided. We all decided we wanted to go to Oatman.
Yes.
And Oatman, Arizona. There's the sign there. Beautiful little town off of Old 66. Great fun place to go. Lots of shops. They even had the Cowboy Shoot 'em Up show out there up front, which we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, I figured we would.
But going into Oatman, this is what you're likely to see. Right there, the Burros. This is the Burro on the outside of town. These Burros...
Not the Jeep.
Yeah, not the Jeep. That's not a Jeep Burro. That's a Burro and a Jeep. It's not a Burro and his Jeep. It's just a Burro and a Jeep. So, anyway, Burros don't... I've checked. They don't drive Jeeps. They don't even own them. And there's not one record on file of a Burro ever even renting a Jeep.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up.
They might have been hauled in a trailer by a Jeep, but that's about as far as it goes, I assure you.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah.
You will see, these are on the outskirts of town. These Burros are wild, and they are the descendants of the Burros that the miners brought in back in the early 1900s.
Now, when we say wild, we don't mean we're going to bite you right away, kind of.
We mean they live out. Nobody owns them.
Yes.
That we know of. They're out in. They live in the mountains. They thrive off of vegetation.
Right.
And one thing that I found out about Burros that is interesting is if they get thirsty, they do have the capability to own or to drill their own wells.
Ah.
They can do that. They can drill their own wells. So that's pretty interesting.
Yes, it is.
I guess they just kind of hoof in the sand or the dirt until water comes up. So it's got to. I'm sure they're not out there with a well drilling truck, because
they're not out there with an auger.
No, they're not. I'm sure if they had the capability to do that, they would haul an auger, and maybe even buy a Jeep at that point.
Oh boy. I'm telling you, it's amazing what you can do with a Burro card.
Yep, it is. So anyway, that was that's one of the Burros there. And then, let's see, we got into town. Well, before we got into town, this is the Burro that came up and greeted you, Sarah.
That's the photo I took of the Burro.
And I heard him. He said, "Hello, Sarah. As one of the official Burros of Oatman, Arizona, I'd like to welcome you."
Uh-huh.
So then we got into Arizona or into Oatman. This is one of the beautiful Burros that's eating. You can see there's like a little pod of Timothy hay there.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, when we first parked the car and walked around the corner, I saw them eating stuff on the ground, and it didn't look like something that was too appetizing.
Ah.
It was like they were eating whatever they cooked themselves, and it just, I don't know how else to put that nicely. I didn't realize that's not what that was. That you can buy these little blocks of Timothy hay.
Right, yes. They come in little brown paper bags, but here is the unfortunate part. The candy store, you can buy the penny candy in those little brown bags too. So
look out for a surprise.
Look out.
I will let Sarah tell you about that in just a minute.
Okay.
So while we're walking down the streets, and I got to say, I was pretty proud of myself because I cannot usually pass up a sign like this.
I was very proud of you too as well.
Can't do it. Cowboy hats, $13.99.
Oh.
That is like like showing candy to a baby to me right there, but we walked right by that store.
That's the Pantone paint chip part for
I
me.
guess. I'm trying to take that off. There we go. Oh, there we go. So here is, I had a little bad experience with the law there.
No, you didn't.
Well, you're kind of my law, honey.
Oh, okay.
She wanted me to get in this contraption so she could take a picture.
Yeah, he got all locked up, people.
Yeah. I don't know if this might have been some sort of holding facility back in the day.
That was
it might have been part of
solitary
confinement. Mm-hmm. Yeah, might have even been an elevator to one of the mines or part of an elevator. I don't know. I think it was used for law enforcement purposes. So, and then one of the nice people that we met going into town there was this wooden Indian, and I'm fascinated by wooden Indians. I like them.
Are you?
I do. My son doesn't like them. No.
Well, it's a joke. I don't think he doesn't like them still, but when he was little.
When he was little, I carried him into a restaurant in Sikeston, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Home of the Throwed Road, Lambert's.
Yes. Great restaurant.
Excuse me. Great restaurant. Yeah, we went there, didn't we? To
yes,
one
we
of
did.
them. Yeah, on our
I'll bring
honeymoon.
my catcher's mitt next time.
Yeah. So we're going in, and there was a group traveling through on motorcycles, and they had... there was Mexicans, some African Americans, Native Americans. They were all lined up. They had their motorcycle vest on and their hats and caps, and they were lined up at the cash register. Pretty long line, people waiting to get a table. Seth and I walk in. I've got him in my arms, and as you walk in the door, there's a wooden Indian right there on the left.
Now, keep in mind, he's like 3.
3 years old, yeah. Mm-hmm. Seth looks at the Indian. Nobody's turned around to see us come in yet. Seth says, "Look, Dad, an Indian." Of course, everybody turns around and looks at us, and then he says, "I hate Indians." And my response was, I'm terrified. I can't believe he said this. I said, "Oh, no, Seth, Indians are good folks. They really are. The Native Americans, they're fantastic people." I said, "What you know about them is just what you've seen in movies and on TV and stuff." I said, "Indians are really good." And everybody looked and saw that he was talking about the wooden Indian, and they kind of laughed and went on. So anyway, we were in Illinois at a restaurant.
Yes.
And what was that restaurant?
I can't remember.
The Country Market, Country Kitchen or something?
No. Mm-mm.
No, okay. Well, anyway, we were
at
this restaurant. And there was a wooden Indian there, and we made reference to it and joked. But when I saw this wooden Indian, I sent a text to Seth, and I said, "Look, Seth, an Indian." And jokingly, he responded back, "I hate Indians. Ha, 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 LOL," you know. He remembered it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about Seth. We love him, but he doesn't like swamp things or Indians.
Right. There is another thing there, and maybe you remember the name of the restaurant. It was the hotel and the restaurant there. I think the oldest building in Oatman,
Wasn't
Arizona.
it called the hotel?
Maybe the hotel and restaurant. Now, I don't know if you can see this. This is just one of the rooms looking into another room. I'm going to enlarge this here just a little bit, Sarah.
Okay. Sure. I don't
not
know
that one.
Not that one.
This was amazing. Let me see if I can go back to this. What you're looking at right there, that is money pinned to the walls.
Yes. And everybody has to put their name on their dollar bill.
They can put a name, a note, whatever. That's a lot of money. Sometimes
you'd see like $4 or $5 bills stapled to each other,
Yep.
hanging from the wall. And I'm like, why are they trying to hit my head?
I asked the lady that checked us out, I said, just exactly how much money do you think is here? She said, "We have estimated that there is over $300,000 hanging on the wall."
Ouch.
So, a good friend of mine was telling me about a restaurant up in Cloudcroft that had kind of the same thing, but not near as much money. He said when they remodeled, they just put paneling right over the old paper,
well,
the old
that's a
dollar
waste
bills.
Of money.
I can imagine 50, 60 years from now, somebody's going to buy that building, remodel it, and then find that. That would be interesting.
That would be.
So, yeah, good stuff. I think that's pretty much it. Except that when we left,
yes,
that evening, we drove. Aunt Joni and Uncle John drove us through Lake Havasu, and we got to visit the London Bridge, which is right behind us. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful lake, beautiful bridge.
There was even an English telephone box.
There was, and it's right. You can't see it now, but it's behind me there somewhere. There it is. You see that? That's just a little bit of a corner of it behind my. Yeah, right there. Yeah,
box right there.
She's got your finger on the phone. Let your fingers do the walking, Sarah.
Ooh.
Isn't that what the old GE commercial or AT&T commercial?
Yellow pages.
Let your fingers do the walking. Yeah, that's it. Or reach out and touch someone. That was the one I was thinking of. Yes, years ago.
Okay, if you must.
I must. So, anyway, that was our trip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When's Father's Day coming?
You forgot to tell the Burros story.
Oh, which one? We were gonna. Oh, what was the Burros?
The gunfight, and then.
Oh yeah, the Burro story. This was great. This Burro stole the show.
He did, literally.
So these two gunfighters are out, and they're doing the shoot 'em up thing, and they're talking and making jokes with the crowd. And this Burro walks by. I've actually got a video of it walking in front of it. Mm-hmm. And the gunfighter turns around and says, "Look out, folks. That's Olivia." He called her Olive or Olivia.
I don't remember, honestly.
The Burro, I'm sure, was named after. I can't remember her last name, Olivia, but there's local legend. She was that tattooed lady, had the tattoos on her chins. Hey. The Indians had actually captured her as a child and raised her as their own, and they tattooed her face.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, yes. So that excuse has been taken, teenagers. You can't use that one. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, he says, "That is Olivia. She's the biggest bag thief in town. Look out for her." And this thing walks on. I guess they didn't believe it. There's this lady over there that it was a plastic bag, like a Walmart bag, and inside of it had a bag of popcorn.
Now, this lady, she actually has a bag of Timothy hay, like I explained earlier, and actually hands the
Timothy Hay.
Timothy Hay
to the Burro.
Olivia, or
Yes.
whatever her name is. And
Doesn't go for it.
doesn't go for it. Doesn't want it. Nope. I smell something better.
He reaches over, grabs that plastic bag, rips it out of her hand violently. It actually rips open. The popcorn bag falls on the ground. He reaches down, picks it up in his mouth, and shakes it till the popcorn comes loose. I kid you not. He ate the bag. And then he finished off the popcorn that was spread out all over the pavement.
And then we think he was maybe eyeing the 4-year-old boy that she had.
He was trying to go for some more there in the crowd, but everybody had learned their lesson.
Yes.
So popcorn and Burros don't mix, especially if it's your popcorn.
Yes.
So, Father's Day is coming up. You think your dad would like a burro?
I don't think so. Although it might come in handy for mowing the lawn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind having a burro or a miniature donkey. I looked at miniature donkeys this week. They're so cute.
Yeah, they cost a lot of money, I'm sure, though.
I don't know. They're not much bigger than a dog, if bigger at all. But here's the thing: they're like guinea pigs. You have to have 2 of them.
Oh,
because they're very social animals and they don't like to be left alone.
So my question for you is, what do you want for Father's Day?
Ooh, a hot dog maybe. I don't know.
Dog?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I would like a good chili dog.
Oh.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too bad.
Well, Memorial Day weekend is here. So
yeah, that's Monday. I'm off.
Yes.
I'm off. Of course, people will tell you I'm off all the time, but yeah.
Well, that's just part of being a weirdo, honey.
I'm a weirdo, yes. We use that word frequently. When I was...
We use it lovingly, though.
Lovingly. We're lovingly weirdos. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, you remember the movie, what was it, the Muppet movie?
Yeah,
One of my favorite scenes, Fozzie Bear and Kermit the Frog are driving down the road.
And Fozzie's uncle's Studebaker.
And they pick up Gonzo. Mm-hmm. And Gonzo jumps in the back seat. And they said, "Where are you going?" He says something like, "I'm going to Timbuktu to become an actor."
Yeah.
Fozzie says, "You don't go to Timbuktu to become an actor. You go to Hollywood. Gonzo says, "Oh, yeah, sure, if you want to do it the easy way." Long pause. Fozzie looks at Kermit and says, "We picked up a weirdo." Yeah. So that's a line that has been used in my immediate family for years, and then I married Sarah, and now she uses it frequently. She says, "I picked up a weirdo."
Well, I used to be a fan of the Muppet movie.
Yes, you did.
I still am.
Yes, you did. So, Father's Day coming up. I got to get my dad a Father's Day. I can't do the Spanish card.
Because I've already
done
did that on
that
your mother.
for Mother's Day, yes. So I'll have to come up with something creative for my dad.
Maybe you could get him a Swedish one.
A Swedish?
Yeah. Card.
Maybe one with the Swedish chef on it.
Ooh,
Father's Day. Yeah.
There we go.
So, I don't know. We had a good time. We had a good trip. Ate some good food. Got back early.
Saw some great, gorgeous landscape.
We did indeed. There's a Dragoon. We've talked about that before. There was a whole area. Sarah only got part of it.
Well, I was beauty sleeping.
Yes, it was. That's okay.
But we also ate some great cheesecake.
Oh, yeah, the cheesecake. I haven't been at I've only been at one of these one time, the Cheesecake Factory, and I never got the cheesecake. I just ordered a sandwich there one time.
Mm-hmm. So, let me just warn you folks here. Before we got there, I'm like, "Do you want to just split a piece?" No, he has to have his own piece. What does he say at the end of eating it?
We should have just got one piece. It was good. We got the pineapple upside down cheesecake. And friends, it'll change your life forever. It's good stuff.
Usually I'm a believer in the fact that all things chocolate are great, but sometimes you just got to go for the fruit flavors.
Just a little. Yeah, I would agree. Chocolate and fruit go together good. Strawberry and chocolate, pineapple and chocolate's not bad. Orange and chocolate's really good.
I don't like orange and
No?
chocolate. I like cherry and chocolate.
Okay.
Give me a good cherry chocolate. I'm happy.
Okay.
Strawberries and chocolate are great, especially if they're double dipped.
That's good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Yep. I like all that in a shake.
Ooh.
Which after we get done with the show today, I'm going to go in there and make me one of my low-carb, sugar-free shakes.
There you go.
Which reminds me, I got another great recipe for you. I haven't come up with a name for this yet, but I invented this morning about a half an hour before the other show. It's a sandwich that consists of rye bread,
yes,
a fried egg,
yes,
and a chicken fried steak.
Yes, but also the secret ingredient, Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce, yes. So, but that same... and pepper jack cheese.
Pepper jack cheese.
That same sandwich could be done with mayonnaise or horseradish or ketchup even.
Yes.
But either way, the combination of the rye bread, the pepper jack, and the chicken fried steak in the it was good. It was really, really good.
Well, let me tell you, the fact that they're now selling Chick-fil-A sauce in Walmart changed my life forever.
It changed your life, yeah.
Thank God. I don't have to go an hour away to get Chick-fil-A
But
sauce.
here's the thing. After they started selling that stuff in the stores, Chick-fil-A announced that there is now a Chick-fil-A sauce shortage. And I'm like, well, of course there is. You made it available to the public in bulk. Of course there is.
They're selling their Polynesian sauce, too.
Are they? Really?
Yes.
In the jars?
In the bottle.
Squeeze bottles?
Yes.
Well, I might have to get some of that.
I don't think so, mister.
Just to go very lightly on... Try it with one of those sandwiches. I'm thinking about calling it the Tularosa Farmer Sandwich, maybe something like that.
Oh, okay.
So the Tularosa Rye,
Dude.
something like that. We found out that we're not going to be able to move to Arizona as quickly as we thought we had.
Big bummer.
Yeah, they had some delays in
bummer.
In the legal aspects of getting permits and everything. They got the permits now, but they're moving ahead.
Looking at my watch here, people, you got to get that house built by a certain time here.
Yeah, but the good news is when we do move, it'll be cooler. So,
yeah.
I'm not a spring chicken anymore.
You're not?
No, I'm not. I'll be, dare I say, I'll be 51 years old in September. I know.
You can say that, I can't.
Now, while that is not old by any means,
no, it's not.
I'm not 25 anymore either.
Oh, I don't want to be 25. I'd be in college. I don't want to be in college again.
Well, I don't know that I'd want to go back there. I would love to be 25 again with the knowledge that I have now. I would probably make a lot better investments than if I knew what I knew now.
Yeah.
So I would have bought a lot more Doge a couple of years ago. I had thousands and thousands of dollars, not of dollars, but of Doge coin, which I sold at a little bit of a profit. I didn't think it was going to go any further up than it did. Had I known,
Well, we all make our investment choices. You
Yep,
can either go slow and steady like a slow cooker, or...
There's no magic 8-ball. Except...
There isn't?
No, except the one in Seth's stick shift in his truck. He went out and bought an 8-ball for the top of his stick shift. So, I had one in my old Volkswagen Bug when I was a kid.
Did you?
I did.
Did it have the liquid and the little triangle?
No, not for the stick shift one.
Oh,
I didn't have that. So, but I did have one of those too. I always had fun with those,
Okay.
It reminded me of Hillary Clinton. You could shake her up pretty good and you never know what kind of answer you got, but whatever it was just random. No truth to it whatsoever.
Doesn't that go for Biden anymore, too?
I don't. Maybe. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough.
Politics is politics is politics.
And we don't want to do too much.
They frustrate me enough, and that's not what I'm here for. I am here to entertain you, make you smile, and have fun. Mm-hmm. So, look at that. There's a couple of comments. We didn't scroll down far enough.
Well, thanks for the compliment, Aunt Joni.
Somebody corrected something there. For, not first. I don't even remember what I said there.
I don't know.
Oh, it said it was first solitary confinement on the sign on it, on that contraption that I got locked up in.
Gotcha.
And Sarah, your hair looks awesome. Doesn't it, though?
It does. I'm glad.
It does. It does look awesome. I actually looked for wigs this week. I didn't look for them. They just popped up. I should reiterate that, confirm that. It just popped up in one of my searches. I have no idea. Nowadays, if something pops up in your search, it's because you said something into a microphone into your house unknowingly. Have you ever had that happen?
And the Echo picked it up?
The Echo, the Siri, one of your phones.
And you wonder why I don't trust them?
Well, you carry one in your pocket and on your purse. Even, I'm talking about the phones, too. Some televisions even do it.
Oh.
Yep.
Right. That's why I don't actually say, "Hey, Siri."
You don't? You press the button on yours.
I press the button.
Oh. Well, it doesn't matter. They still hear you. Did you know this? They still hear you. They're out there listening. Somewhere in an undisclosed place at Area 51. Did I tell that story last time? I think I did.
I don't know. I hope so.
I accidentally called Area 51.
I thought you weren't.
Yeah, and confirmed that I actually did too later, but that was an accident. But crazy stuff. Anyway, I think we did talk about that on the last short show.
Okay. Yeah. Needless to say, somebody got yelled at.
I got yelled at by a colonel and some grunt of an off. I got yelled at by the grunt and then by this colonel. Mm-hmm. Said I knew who I was trying to reach. He just wanted to know how I got that number. And then she told me later, I will let them know that your calls can go through to me. I said, oh, no, we're not calling this number again.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
No. Called my friend Michael, who's, he's part of the Space Museum, and, he likes stories like that. He said, you win. So crazy stuff. Sarah, I think we'd better go.
Yeah, before the FBI comes.
We have,
certain things that need to be done.
Cow eggs together and chickens to milk. So
okay, fair enough.
So, is there anything you want to say, or
have a great Memorial Day weekend?
Yes,
think of it for their service, and please don't forget to remember all of those who gave their lives for this freedom that we have in our country.
Absolutely. Yep.
So,
your day at the beach was brought on by other people at the beach who stormed those beaches, and so that we could do that this weekend. Mm-hmm. We hope you all have a fantastic and great weekend.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time right here on the Cowboy and Cherry Short Show.